Hello, and welcome to the Divorced Dadvocate, divorce support for dads, where we help dads create a healthy and less traumatic divorce. My name is Jude Sandoval, and I'm your host. I created this podcast and the Divorced Advocate community as a result of my own high conflict divorce, and because you as a dad deserve all the resources necessary to thrive through this challenging time. I encourage you to check out our website at thedivorcedadvocate.com, where there are resources that correspond to this episode, as well as free access to our membership community, where you will find live meetings, free workshops and courses, private discussion groups, and more. And now, on to this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to the show. Thank you for listening. This week, we're going to be talking about some practical advice around navigating the holidays as a divorced dad and giving you some ideas for creating new traditions with your kids. But before we jump into that, let's welcome a couple of new members to the Divorced Advocate community. That is Matthew and Z. Welcome. If you're not part of the community yet, check it out at thedivorcedadvocate.com. We've got all kinds of resources there, from free to paid, to get the help that you need and that you deserve going through this difficult and challenging time. Check it out at thedivorcedadvocate.com. All right, navigating the holidays as a divorced dad, whether this is the first time that you're doing it or going through it alone, or whether or not it is the first time you're doing it with kiddos, the holiday season can definitely be a bittersweet time for us divorced dads. It still is for me. On one hand, it's a chance to share special moments with your children filled with joy and wonder. On the other, it may bring up some reminders of the traditions you once shared as a family that are now going to be changed forever. Your first holiday season as a divorced dad is bound to be a time of mixed emotions, but it's also a chance for you to get a fresh start. So by embracing new traditions, you can still make this season magical for you and your kiddos. And here are 6 tips that I'm going to give you for navigating this new chapter, for creating lasting memories, and for finding joy in the holidays again. The first one is embracing the new by starting fresh traditions. One of the best ways to adopt to post-divorce life during the holidays is by starting your own unique traditions with your children. These can be simple but meaningful rituals that become, quote unquote, your thing with the kids. This is probably why it's number one for me, is probably the biggest thing that I found that was meaningful over the long haul with my kiddos. And some ideas around that could be one, creating a special holiday movie marathon night. My daughters and I have some favorites movies that we would like to watch, and you could gather a list of holiday classics and make some popcorn, do whatever you do, spend an evening cozying up together. Let each of the kiddos pick their favorite movie, or you could even add a new movie to your lineup each year. We go through and we actually have a whole list of different movies that we watch every year. So we do that over the entire holiday season, watching multiple movies that are our favorites. Another one could be to create a family game day. Designate a day around around the holidays where it's just you, your kids, and some fun board games. You can make it an annual tradition where everyone gets to pick a game. You could stock up with some snacks and just spend a day competing and laughing and having some fun together. Another new, fresh tradition you could start is a holiday recipe night. Pick a night to bake cookies or cook a special meal with your kids. You could start with something simple like decorating sugar cookies, or tackle a new recipe each year that you all learn to make together. One that we do is we make cookies the night before Christmas, on Christmas Eve, to put out for Santa, and then Santa is able to eat some fresh baked cookies from our house on Christmas Eve while he's delivering presents. So the first tip there is start some fresh traditions. Another one that we have is when we're decorating the tree, we rotate topping the tree with our angels. So just the point being, create new things. And these were all new things that we started doing post divorce that we weren't doing during divorce. And it just gives you a fresh start around that. The second is create a new giving tradition. The season is meant for giving, and creating a giving tradition with your kids can make it even more meaningful. One of those ideas would be to adopt a family or donate gifts. Find a local charity that lets families, quote unquote, adopt another family in need. Let each child pick out a gift for the adopted family, wrap it, and deliver it together. This experience can help your kids understand the importance of giving and gratitude during the season. I know that lots of lots of churches will do that. Our church has a giving tree where you're able to take something off the giving tree and ornament and then buy that for a family. Also around Thanksgiving, there is the opportunity to buy meals for families as well. So that's always a great thing to participate with the kids and have them search for the stuff in the store, go through it, and accumulate all of it, and then bring it to wherever, if it's your church or wherever else you might be bringing the stuff to donate. It's just a really, really good way to come together and celebrate the meaning of the season of giving with them. The next could be to make homemade gifts for relatives. Encourage your children to make simple homemade gifts or cards for the grandparents, aunts, uncles, or other loved ones. It's a great way to spend time together while teaching them the value of personal gestures, as well as doing something that is inexpensive but absolutely meaningful for family members. The last one, and I'm always a firm believer of doing this all throughout the year. It just brings a different dynamic to your relationship with your kiddos if you're doing volunteering together. Many shelters and food banks and churches need extra help during the holidays, and volunteering together could be a meaningful tradition that also allows your children to see the season from a different perspective. One of the traditions we started just a couple of years ago was on Christmas Day, making some meals and packets for the homeless in our area, and then going out on Christmas Day and delivering those. So it's been probably one of the more meaningful things that we've implemented in our family over the past 11 years of divorce, and it's absolutely just an amazing experience every year now. Let's see, the third way in which you can create a new traditions with your kiddos is by celebrating in a new environment. If this is your first holiday season after divorce, it may feel especially challenging. So changing the scenery can help create a break from past traditions. You can do something like take a day trip or a short vacation, plan a short trip to a nearby destination, maybe like here in Colorado, a cabin in the woods, or a day at a nearby city, or even a winter hike somewhere, depending on where you live. A change in setting can feel like a true, quote unquote, new beginning, and may help you and your children focus on making memories together. Another thing you can do is explore a local event or a festival. There's many towns have holiday markets or tree lighting ceremonies, ice skating rinks. That's a fun one that my daughters and I do every single year, is go down and go ice skating together. And this can create a festival outing. There's lots of Christmas parades and pageants that go on, and these communities events often have a sense of togetherness that can be uplifting. Another one you can do is choose a different setting for your celebration. If you've always celebrated at home, you can consider going out for a holiday. I'm not a big fan of this, but I know that there are a lot of people that do this for their holidays, or you can host it somewhere new, like a friend's house or maybe another relative's house. And this can make the holiday feel distinct from past celebrations. So the whole idea around this is just changing it up a little bit so that you're creating your own kind of tradition around this. All right, number 4, make some space for emotional conversation. Very, very important. Holidays can be emotionally charged for kids experiencing their first season post-divorce, and uh, encourage open communication and be patient with their feelings. Set aside a quote unquote share time. I try to do this on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, but especially during this time, especially if you're maybe going through the divorce right now or just really closely post divorce, establish a tradition of share time during a holiday meal or maybe before bed, and ask your kids to talk about their favorite memories, what they miss, or even what they're grateful for this year. And by being open about your emotions, this lets them know that it's okay to feel mixed emotions about the holidays, and also make sure to share yourself about how you're feeling as well. If you're feeling sad, that is a good thing to share with them as well, so that they can know and understand and feel comfortable in feeling sad themselves. Another one is a great idea is to create a shared journal. Consider starting a holiday journal that you keep together year after year, and each person can write down a special memory from the season or something they're looking forward to next year. This helps acknowledge that the family's story continues even as it changed. And I think that last part is really important. It acknowledges that the family's story continues even as it changes, even as the celebration changes, the types of celebrations, how you're celebrating, the environment in which you're celebrating will be different. That this family still continues. So I think that's a really great idea. Number 5, find joy in simple moments, and you don't have to make every holiday moment feel grand or perfect. Instead, focus on enjoying the little moments with your kids and making them count. I'm so far on the backside of this now that it amazes me every time I talk to my daughters and they have a memory about a holiday or something that was meaningful in their upbringing and in their earlier adolescent life. And it mostly usually had nothing to do with an expensive endeavor or anything that was a grand plan. It was just something that was simple that did or we were doing that we made some memories from. So these can look like outdoor adventures, bundle up and go for a winter walk, explore local holiday lights, or go for a drive looking at holiday lights throughout the neighborhoods, or just go sledding. I love going sledding. My daughters just went this weekend. We had a big snowstorm this last week, and they had a snow day from school, and they went with their friends, which made me a little bit disappointed and sad because I'm so used to doing that with them, but they are now teenagers in high school. And so that was fun for them to transition into that, but it is also an awesome, fun activity to do together. And it's very simple and easy to do. The fresh air and movement can lift everybody's spirits, even on colder days. Outdoor adventures are just awesome. Even if you're in a cold weather climate, such as where I live, doing those things and getting outside is just a great way to spend time together. Another is create a do-it-yourself holiday craft. Kids love creating things, and holiday crafts can be a fun, low-pressure way to spend time together. You can make ornaments, paint rocks with holiday themes, or even create simple wreaths from natural materials like pine cones and leaves. Our Christmas tree is absolutely covered with all of their DIY holiday crafts, and I love looking at them every single year. We keep all of them and we just put them back on, and then we add more every single year as well. Well, probably a little less now that they're older. They're not making as many, but it is just an awesome, fun thing to do. And then you just have those memories over and over again every Christmas, especially if you're making some of those ornaments or other holiday themed decorations to keep around the house. We have the Halloween decorations and stuff that they made from their childhood for that. We have the ones for Thanksgiving as well and Christmas. So it's just awesome. Another idea is have a pajama day, dedicated day where you all stay in your pajamas, maybe eat a pancake breakfast and just relax at home, whether it's watching movies, playing games, hanging out, maybe watching sporting events. A cozy day in can become something everyone looks forward to. That's always a fun thing. I love to do that one, particularly around the Christmas holiday break that they will have from school. And if I can take a day off of work, I try to do it in the middle of the week, which is just makes it new and fun and interesting and something out of the ordinary from what we might do on the weekends. All right, lastly, number 6, practice self-care and set boundaries. I did put this last, but this is equally as important as the first one, because must not forget to take care of yourself during this holiday season. In particular, the first holiday season post-divorce is going to bring up emotions for you. Setting boundaries, important for those of us that are codependent, and practicing self-care will help you be more present and positive with your kids. Some ways to do that is create a tradition just for yourself, whether it's a quiet walk on Christmas morning or a solo dinner with a friend. Having a little time for yourself can be restorative. Find a way to fill your own cup, even as you focus on creating memories for your children. Another can be to make sure to let go of perfection. If you haven't already started to work on this, fellas, now is a good time to do it. It's okay if things don't go perfectly. It's okay if the turkey doesn't get cooked perfectly, if the timing of the holidays and your celebration isn't perfect. Whatever it might be, the best memories aren't created from perfectly orchestrated events. They come from genuine, heartfelt moments. And then lastly, reach out if you need support. That's why we're here at the Divorced Advocate. That's why we have the community here. If the holiday seasons feel overwhelming, reach out to a friend, a family member, or even a therapist. Support can make a huge difference as you navigate this period. It can be lonely, it can be challenging, but do not self-isolate. Get engaged and become part of the Divorced Advocate community at the very least, but get the help that you may need. Find somebody to talk to during this holiday season. So my final thoughts, your first holiday season after a divorce is a time to redefine what quote unquote family looks like and what the holidays mean for you and your children. By focusing on new traditions and letting go of what you can't control, you can create an environment filled with love, joy, and resilience. Remember, the holidays don't have to look the way they did before. They can be uniquely yours now. Your children may feel the change, but they'll also feel your love, they'll feel your attention, and they'll feel your care. And that's the most valuable gift you can give them this season. I hope they found some value in this. Please share the podcast far and wide. Give us a star rating on whatever podcast platform that you are listening to. If you can give us a comment as well, that would be very helpful. But let's continue to spread the message to divorced or divorcing dads all around the world that need the support that they deserve during this challenging and difficult time. Gentlemen, thank you for listening. Have a terrific week and God bless. To hear the rest of this episode and access the corresponding resources, visit thedivorcedadvocate.com and become a member of our community. It's free to join and will provide you with the resources you deserve as a divorced or divorcing dad. Thank you for listening. God bless, and I'll talk with you next week.